Welcome to today's episode. Today we are learning subtraction of decimal numbers. Subtraction of decimal numbers. How to subtract one decimal number from the other decimal number. Then we will move on to how to subtract a decimal number from a whole number. So let's start. Decimal number 2.1. This is a decimal number because of the decimal point in between the numbers. Okay, decimal. Let's look at example. How to subtract number from. We have 2.43 minus 1.21. How do you subtract this decimal number from the other one here? So we will rewrite them so that we can be able to align the decimal places. So I will have 2.43 minus 1.21. When you take 1 from 3, or 3 minus 1, bring 2 here. When you subtract 2 from 4, you'll be having another 2 here. You bring a decimal point. You subtract 1 from 2, you have 1. Therefore, 2.43 minus 1.21 is equal to 1.22. Let's solve another example. You have 5.782 minus 4.135. How do you solve this? It's just like the normal whole numbers that we've been subtracting from each other. You subtract 5 from 2, which is actually not possible. So what do? You borrow 1 from this 8 to add to this, making it 12. When you subtract 5 from 12, you would be having 7. So you have your 7 here. Over here, we'll be left with 7 instead of the 8 because you have already borrowed 1 to add to this very 2. Now, 7 minus 3. Subtract 3 from 7. You should be having 4 here. When you take 1 from 7, or 7 minus 1, you'll be having 6 here. Then you bring a decimal point. 4 minus 5 is 1. Therefore, 5.782 minus 4.135 is equal to 1.647. Let's go on with example number 3. With this one, take your time, pause the video and solve it first. 3.315 minus 1.302. Pause the video and solve this example. Okay, welcome back from the break. Let's solve this together. When you subtract 2 from 5, the answer will be 3. If you subtract 0 from 1, your answer will be 1. When you subtract 3 from 3, you will be left with 0. Then you bring your decimal point. 4 minus 1 will give us 3. Therefore, 4.315 minus 1.302 is equal to 3.013. Solve the following examples. You pause the video and solve them. Now, so we are solving 8.34 minus 3.43. That's question number 1. Question number 1, 8.34 minus 3.43. You solve this. You pause the video, you solve all of them, then we solve them together. Okay. Question number 2, 6.521 minus 4.114. That is question number 2. Question number 3. 24.02 minus 11.43. 24.02 minus 11.43. Question number 4. Question number 4. We have 2.34 minus 0.16. 2.34 minus 0.16. Pause the video, solve these questions. Okay, welcome back. Let's solve these questions together. Okay, let's start with question number 1. As usual, we are going to rewrite the questions. You'll be having 8.34 minus 3.43. Let's solve this together. 4 minus 3, you will have 1. 3 minus 4, it is not possible that way. So we will borrow 1 from here to add to this 3 to give us what? 13. When you subtract 4 from 13, you will be having 9. You have 9 here. You bring your decimal point. And over here, because we have borrowed 1, it is left with 7 instead of 8. So you are going to use this 7 to work with. So 7 minus 3. Your answer here will be 4. Therefore, 8.34 minus 3.43 is equal to 4.91. 8.34 minus 3.43 is equal to 4.91. If you get this one correctly, please indicate it in your comment section. Okay, just write the correct answers in the comment section. If you had it correct, bravo. Let's move to question number 2. We have 6.21 minus 4.114. Let's rewrite the question. We have 6.521 minus 4.114. We are solving. You can subtract 4 from 1. So what do? We are going to borrow 1 to add to this. So we borrow 1 from these two to add to this. We get 11. When you subtract 4 from 11, what would you have? So when you subtract 4 from 11, you should be having 7. Over here, we are left with 1. 1 minus 1 will give you 0. We come to the next part. 5 minus 1 will give us 4. You bring your decimal point. 6 minus 4 will give you 2. This is the correct answer. If you have this one also correctly, please indicate it in the comment section below. Therefore, 6.521 minus 4.114 is equal to 2.407. 6.521 minus 4.114 is equal to 2.407. Okay, let's move to example or question number 3. Question number 3, we have 24.02 minus 11.43. Let's rewrite this question. We have 24.02 minus 11.43. Pause the video as well. If you get the answer correctly, bravo, you are solving. We can subtract 3 from 2. What do? We have to borrow. Unfortunately, we don't have anything here to borrow. So we are going to borrow from this end. When you borrow 1 from here, it will be left with 3 here. So that one you are going to add to this 0. You'll be getting 10 over here. And still, we want to borrow to this side. So we still borrow 1 from this 10 to add to this to get 12 here. Therefore, over here is becoming 9. Okay, let's move on. So 12 minus 3 is what? 12 minus 3. Your answer will be 9. Over here, instead of 0, we'll be having 9 there. When you subtract 4 from the 9, you will have 5. You bring the decimal point. Because we have borrowed 1 from these 4, we are left with 3. So we are not going to work with the 4, we are going to work with the 3. So when you subtract 1 from the 3, you'll be left with 2. When you subtract 1 from 2, you have 1. Therefore, 24.02 minus 11.43 is equal to 12.59. 24.02 minus 11.43 is equal to 12.59. Let's move on to the last question. The last question is 2.34 minus 0.16. Let's rewrite it. We have 2.34 minus 0.16. Let's solve. Can we subtract 6 from 4? No. What do? You borrow 1 from the 3 to add to this. So when you borrow 1 from here, which is turning to 10, and add it to the 4, you'll be having 14. So you'll be having 14 here, while this place becomes 2. Now 6 minus 14 is 8. We are left with 2 here. The 1 minus 2. We have the 2 minus the 1. When you take 1 from the 2, we are left with 1 here. You bring the decimal point. You can subtract nothing from 2. So 2 minus 0 is the same as 2. Therefore, 2.34 minus 0.16 is equal to 2.18. 2.34 minus 0.16 is equal to 2.18. If you get this one also correctly, indicate it in the comment section. Ask questions that we have solved. We know the number of questions that are correctly. Thank you so much for this episode. I'll see you again in the next episode. Bye.